As your fat burning workouts feel like they're going to the dogs, I'm going to show you today why if you're standing where Darla and I are for the majority of the time you're trying to burn fat, you're wasting a whole heck of a lot of time. What's up everybody, Jeff Cavalier, ATHLEAN-X.com. As you can see, Darla wasn't only bored on that treadmill, but I can tell you she wasn't really effectively burning fat. And neither are you if that's what you're relying on to burn fat. I'm going to show you today why that is. First of all, I always talk about in ATHLEAN-X the need to swap out steady state cardio for burst training. But there's those that will kind of argue the fact and say, yeah, but steady state cardio like treadmill walking is going to burn a higher percentage of calories from fat, and that's true. Matter of fact, it's going to burn 50% of its calories from fat when you're working out at lower intensity levels, as opposed to 35% of the calories from fat when you're working out at a higher intensity. But here's where it gets interesting. If you were to look at what a normal 40-minute treadmill workout is, and that would be the longest that we would ever train when we're in ATHLEAN-X. We train anywhere from 20 to 40 minutes, but not on a treadmill. If you were to do a 40-minute treadmill walk, you're going to burn 250 calories. If you figure out 50% of those calories being burned as fat, you're basically going to come out to 125 fat calories burned. So yes, again, a 15% increase in the percentage. But you want to look at the total, because when you work out at a higher intensity level, first of all, think of it logically. It's not easy to do sprint work or high intensity interval training or burst training in our case. It's not easy. It makes you feel like you're out of breath, and it's a lot more difficult, much more difficult than being able to walk for 40 minutes. So with that, we know that we're burning a lot more calories. We're burning 380 calories. So even at your 35% increase, your 35% rate of fat burning, which is lower, you're still going to overall burn more fat calories, because you're going to come up with 38, I think it's 133, something like that, 138, 139, somewhere in here. I don't want to work it all out here, but you're going to come up with more fat calories burned for sure. And that's really the deal. And think about this. You were doing 40 minutes of work here, and now you're doing 20 minutes of burst training. So I can get you out of the gym in half the time and also get you better fat burning results. And here's the key. You're able to preserve and build muscle. Take a look at any marathon runner, guys, and you'll see the guys that rely on longer training, longer conditioning work, steady state conditioning, don't look the way that I don't think that you're trying to look. They're usually a lot thinner than you're supposed to look. They don't have the muscle mass that you want, and here's why. We basically have a scale, a lactate threshold based on lactic acid buildup. As the lactic acid builds up over here, you start off, this is how much fat burning you have. You're going to burn a higher percentage of fat at the lower intensity level. So here's your lactic acid threshold. If you don't have a lot of lactic acid, it's just basically like walking. Higher percentage of fat, it starts to drop off, until it reaches this lactate threshold. At this point, it all shifts to carbohydrates that you're burning for calories and not fat. At that point, you're going to be down here, and your carbs, which are low here, are going to start to rise, and they'll peak off like that. Okay, so in this sub-lactic acid, lactate threshold, you're going to be burning a combination of both. We know that by the 50%, 35%. But what's key here is you will actually start to pick up this fat burning again if you keep going for like an hour and a half or 2 hours, and that's where those guys start to get really thin, but the trade-off is really emaciated. So your marathon runners, they can start burning fat again. You don't ever see an ounce of fat on those guys, not even an ounce, paper-thin skin, because you have to go very long, hour and a half, 2 hours, 2.5 hours in order to kick this back up again. All right, so what am I saying here? I'm saying that you want to make sure that you're keeping your workouts at that higher intensity so that you're burning fat, but at the same time you're not costing yourself your chances of having muscle. Guys, remember, every pound of lean muscle that you build is going to allow you to have and burn an extra 50 calories every single day just at rest. Every single pound of lean muscle gain. So you think about the impact that that's going to have on your ability to burn fat in the long run. Okay, 5 extra pounds of muscle, 250 calories extra every single day. So now you get to eat more. So you can see it all coming together, guys. If you follow a routine like ATHLEAN-X that allows you to strength train, allows you to train intensely, gives you the tools you need through burst training to actually burn fat, but at the same time preserve your muscle, now you're creating a machine because your body's now going to be able to more efficiently burn fat just at rest, still have your muscle to help you, burn even more, and as a matter of fact, look better, right? Look more like that sprinter type body. So get off the treadmill, guys. I'm telling you, it's not only easy, and it's easy for a reason. You know it's easier. Start trading in some of that workout length for intensity, and you'll start to see that better results are in your path, especially in a shorter period of time. All right, so guys, if you haven't already been over to ATHLEAN-X.com, head over there now. Go check out the 90-day training program. I lay it out for you day by day, when to do your burst training, when to do your strength training, and put it all together and all the pieces together for you so that you get it right, okay? And you're not overtraining and you're doing exactly what you need to do and not a second more. I'll see you guys back here in 7 days. Meantime, I'll see you over at ATHLEAN-X.